I sailed from Seattle, far away from friends and home, across the blue Pacific to the land of morning calm. Here's a helmet and a rifle and your prophylactics too, and as sure as I'm your captain, we will make a man of you. The 105s were pounding and their thunder shook the night. I asked my bold commander, who am I here to fight? It's the gooks and the chinks, it's the slants and slopes, said he, and I wondered if their captain ever said the same of me. I've seen the mountain winters where the air is cold and still, but oh, that frozen Chosun, it was a living hell. With the fever and the jaundice and 100 kinds of mold, we were slaughtered in our mummy bags by bayonets and cold. And everywhere I traveled, from the gap at Kumari, the Yongsan reservations to the camps at Munsani, the golden plains of Incheon, my boots rotting on my feet, all I heard were crying babies while their mothers walked the streets. We bought watches, we bought candy, we bought whores and we bought booze, and the little barefoot beggars bending down to shine our shoes. Well, we gave them back our candy, and to answer our desires, oh, we gave them round-eyed babies who died outside the wire. Well, I got off in Seattle and I climbed on board a train. I rode it through these mountains with a fever in my brain. I could find no reason to remain here anymore. Oh, there was no sign around me of the life I'd lived before. So what's the pride in country if it robs a man of will? And what's the pride in manhood if a man will rape and kill? And what's the pride in killing if the dead will rise again? Ah, but there's a pride in knowing that the enemy's within. So listen, all you troopers, here's a lesson you should know, from an older brown-shoed soldier who marched off long ago. They will use your pride and passion for to settle all their fights. Keep your pride in your trousers and the captain in your sights. New York City, famous for its lack of pity. That's where a man named Garner used to live. He was big and black and proud, had friends and family all around. And despite so many hassles with police, Garner's neighbors knew him as a man of peace. Garner was in town, so the cops all gathered round. They said he tried to sell some untaxed cigarettes. Garner said it wasn't true, but he broke a bigger rule. Well, in a land where if you're black then you're a threat, Cop showed everyone black lives don't matter yet. Well, he told the cops, I'm tired, I'm so tired of being harassed. It was a brave thing for a poor black man to say. And before he died, he cried, I can't breathe 11 times. Pantaleo grabbed his neck and threw him down. The other cops helped shove his face into the ground. Out in famous New York City, famous for its lack of pity, that's where a man named Eric Garner used to live. He was big and black and proud, had friends and family all around. And despite so many hassles with police, Garner's family knew him as a man of peace. After Garner stopped resisting, well, the cops just stood there watching. Then they picked his pockets and they rolled him on his side. Several minutes slowly passed, EMTs, they come at last. No CPR, they said, he still was breathing then. An hour later, Garner never breathed again. And the medical report said it was a homicide. It said they killed him when they wouldn't let him breathe. But there was no murder charge, seems it was never in the cards. Despite the testimonies and the video, the judge and jury said the cops were free to go. Out in famous New York City, famous for its lack of pity, that's where a man named Eric Garner used to live. He was big and black and proud, had friends and family all around. And despite so many hassles with police, Garner's neighbors knew him as a man of peace. Yeah, Eric Garner couldn't breathe with the system round his neck that kills a black man just for holding cigarettes. Home of the brave, land of the free, what's this mean to you and me? It's all a sham if black folks' lives don't matter yet. If you're not rich or white, then you don't matter yet. Some kind of freedom if the people here can't breathe. The wailing sounds of a million wires underground save us. Oh, 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 and the music man snaps a string. Don't give a damn, he still sings. Nobody's listening or cares what they're missing. Goodbye, goodbye. Beautiful. and one time for treason, and the owl on a perch. Bone piles beneath him, moon hates the search. Hungry for something alive, beautiful, everybody. Keep going. Is this the promised kingdom alive? Blood and tears and sweat replied, no, no, no. From miles round out by televisions, and funeral eyes turn toward the sky, funeral eyes turn toward the Well, the music man finishes playing his tunes and smokes his last cigar in a hostel room, screaming out a song about all things connected. For the eagle has fallen and we're all infected. Goodbye. Last time out, folks. Goodbye. Beautiful little war. Goodbye. Goodbye. Keep going. Goodbye. Donate to the cause and donate to the relief effort. And I'm going to leave you with this last little message also from Utah Phillips. It's about getting old in a beautiful way. So here you go. Since we're doing the solo singing here, so this is called Stupid's Song. It was for his good friend whose name was Stupid. So yeah. Well, I have lived a young life full of peace and quiet. I shall live an old life full of rum and riot. I have been a young lad, careful and artistic. I shall be an old man, coarse and anarchistic. Once I paid my taxes and followed every rule. Bankers, bosses, bureaucrats thought me a willing tool. I voted Democratic and paid the church its due. Now all those swine will have to find some other chump to screw. Of interest rates and credit cards, of mortgages and rent, bakers, bosses, bureaucrats, and coppers I repent. With rage for corporations and scorn for those elected, I shall be an old bum, loved but unrespected.